Top 10 gemstones born in fire. Crystals forged in Earth's hottest places. Beauty doesn't come from calm, it comes from conflict. Some of Earth's rarest and most valuable gemstones aren't formed in silence. They're born from pressure, violence, and unimaginable heat. Formed deep inside the planet, beneath colliding continents, or inside volcanic chambers, these crystals emerge from places where temperatures rise high enough to melt metals and pressures crush everything in order. They don't grow slowly, they don't grow gently. They're forged in fire. Welcome to Top 10 Gemstones Born in Fire, crystals forged in the hottest places on Earth. And the first gemstone on this list doesn't just survive fire, it comes from its heart. Don't forget to press and hold that like button, leave a comment, and hit subscribe before we begin. Ranked 10th, Vesuvianite, the forgotten gem of fire and limestone. It was born where the lava met limestone, where raw volcanic fury collided with cold, ancient seabeds. That place was Mount Vesuvius. And the gem that emerged from that collision? Vesuvianite. Discovered in the late 18th century among the ashen slopes of Italy's most infamous volcano, Vesuvianite was initially mistaken for green tourmaline or low-grade jade. Its crystal habits varied wildly. Some pieces were short and stubby, others prismatic and fibrous, confusing even to trained mineralogists. But those irregularities were hiding a truth. Vesuvianite isn't common, it's complex. It's born from heat and chemistry. Few other gems can survive. Vesuvianite forms during contact metamorphism, a process in which magma, at over 1,200 degrees Celsius, intrudes into carbonate-rich rocks. This thermodynamic chaos triggers a chain reaction, crystallizing calcium-aluminum silicates into vibrant hues, ranging from bright lime green to amber gold, and even violet. High-grade Vesuvianite gemstones are rare. Most faceted stones are under 1 inch in size, and specimens over 3 carats with intense saturation can command $300 to $800 per carat, especially those from Quebec, Canada, and Piedmont, Italy. Collectors seek clarity in the geological fingerprint, growth lines, color zoning, and a story embedded in the structure. Vesuvianite isn't flashy, and it doesn't dominate auctions or headlines. But for gemologists, it's sacred. A mineral formed at the edge of an eruption, a relic of fire-touching sediment. It's not a stone that screams for attention. It's a stone that whispers, "I was forged where continents trembled." Ranked 9th, Moldavite, the green glass forged in a planetary collision. 15 million years ago, the Earth burned. A meteor the size of a mountain slammed into what is now southern Germany, striking at over 40,000 miles per hour. The kinetic energy released was equivalent to 1.8 million Hiroshima bombs. Temperatures soared beyond 3,000 degrees Celsius, instantly vaporizing rock, sand, and organic matter. But from this cataclysm came beauty. Moldavite was born. As molten debris rained back to Earth, it cooled mid-air, forming droplets of natural glass across the Czech Republic. Most landed within a narrow zone known today as the Moldau River Valley, giving the stone its name. Unlike obsidian, Moldavite is tektite, a rare family of impact-generated glass. And unlike synthetic green glass, it carries etched flow lines, bubbles, and striations, the fingerprints of an explosion. Most raw Moldavite pieces measure under 2 inches, with faceted stones over 10 carats considered collector grade. Prices range from $15 to $100 per gram. But museum-quality specimens with sculpted hedgehog textures or rare shapes can fetch $1,000 plus. It isn't technically a mineral, but few stones on Earth have endured this much fire. Moldavite didn't form in silence. It was screamed into existence by a cosmic event. And every time you hold one, you're not just a gemstone, you're having a piece of Earth that survived a war with the sky. Ranked 8th, Obsidian, the blade born from magma. Before there were kings, there were blades, and before there was metal, there was obsidian. Obsidian forms when lava rich in silica cools so rapidly that crystals have no time to grow. There's no internal structure, just a chaotic freeze of molten rock. The result is natural volcanic glass, sharper than steel, darker than night, and forged in temperatures above 1,200 degrees Celsius. Archaeologists have recovered obsidian tools dating back over 700,000 years across nearly every continent. From the scalpels of early surgeons in Anatolia to the arrowheads of Aztec warriors, obsidian wasn't just a gemstone, it was survival. Under magnification, its edge can reach sharpness down to 3 nanometers, making it one of human history's most precise cutting materials. Gem-quality obsidian is rare, but sought after for its rainbow, snowflake, mahogany, or sheen patterns. Most pieces used in jewelry are under 2 inches, and polished cabochons sell for $5 to $100, depending on color and origin. But ancient ceremonial blades, especially from Mesoamerica, have fetched thousands at auction. Obsidian is not subtle. It is raw, immediate, and unapologetic. It doesn't glimmer. It doesn't sparkle. It cuts. A gem born in violence and cooled in seconds, and used by humans for hundreds of thousands of years. Not for beauty, but for power. Ranked 7th. Garnet, the gem that migrated through fire. Few gemstones have traveled farther underground than garnet. It begins its life not in peace but in pressure, caught in the crush between colliding continents, squeezed and heated as mountain chains rise and oceans close. Formed through regional metamorphism, garnet crystallizes when sedimentary rocks like shale are buried deep and exposed to temperatures of 700 to 1,100 degrees Celsius and pressures exceeding 8 kilobars. As tectonic plates grind together, minerals are broken and rebuilt. Garnet emerges as one of the first signs that fire is rewriting stone. This subterranean migration leaves behind clues. Garnet trails marking the path of mountain-building events across Africa, India, and North America. Some garnets even preserve zoned growth rings, like the annual rings of a tree, except these record millions of years of geological transformation. Depending on the chemistry, garnets range in color from blood-red pyrope to green savorite to orange spessartine. Most faceted stones measure under 0.75 inches, and prices vary from $30 per carat for common varieties to $5,000 plus for flawless savorite or demantoid over 3 carats. But garnet tells a deeper story beyond value, one written not in sparkle but in structure, pressure, and time. It is the gem that marks a continent's trauma and its rebirth. Forged in fire, shaped by collision, and carried upward by the Earth's slow, grinding will. Ranked 6th, Zircon, the time capsule. Forged in magma, long before diamonds, before rubies, before life. There was zircon. Zircon is the oldest known mineral on Earth. Forged in Earth's crust 4.4 billion years ago, it is a crystal born when the surface was still molten and chaotic. It formed deep within granitic magma under temperatures exceeding 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit, 980 degrees Celsius, where molten rock cooled just enough to allow crystallization. What sets zircon apart isn't just its age, it's what it remembers. Zircon's crystal lattice can trap uranium, thorium, and trace elements, which decay predictably over time. That makes zircon the most precise natural clock we have, used by geologists to date the Earth's oldest crust, the first oceans, and even the earliest hints of life. Some crystals, no wider than 0.04 inches, contain entire geological eons. Zircon is a gemstone that comes in blue, champagne, and colorless varieties. Fine stones over 3 carats with high dispersion, often mistaken for diamonds, can sell for $400 to $1,500 per carat. But the real value isn't just in beauty, it's in legacy. Every zircon is a witness to asteroid impacts, to mountain formations, to the first drops of rain. It didn't just survive the fire, it was born in it and never forgot. Ranked 5th, Peridot, the gem carried from the mantle's flame. Most gemstones form in the crust, the skin of the earth. Peridot comes from its heart. In the upper mantle, between 20 and 55 miles below the surface, peridot crystallizes inside molten rock at temperatures above 2,900 degrees Fahrenheit. It grows in silence, in darkness, trapped inside peridotite, surrounded by crushing pressure and elemental fire. But Peridot doesn't stay hidden forever. It reaches the surface the only way it can, through volcanic eruptions. Carried upward by deep-sourced magma, it survives a violent ascent through lava tubes and pyroclastic clouds. In places like Hawaii, Myanmar, and Pakistan, it glitters in black basalt or is scattered across ash fields, green against gray, cool against heat. Gem-quality peridot is one of the few stones without heat treatment or enhancement. Its color, a rich olive to lime green, is entirely natural. Most cut stones measure under 0.75 inches, and those over 5 carats with intense saturation can sell for $400 to $1,500 per carat, depending on origin and clarity. But value aside, peridot is one of the only gemstones that lets us hold a piece of Earth's interior. Not just born in fire, but born beneath it, a survivor of the mantle's forge, and a reminder that even from the planet's deepest fury, beauty can rise. Ranked fourth, sapphire, the alchemy of heat, depth, and element. At its core, sapphire is just corundum, aluminum oxide hardened by pressure, but when forged deep within the Earth's crust, under temperatures above 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit, in the right blend of trace elements, something miraculous happens. Iron, titanium, chromium. The slightest variation turns this otherwise colorless mineral into a spectrum of fire-hardened gems. Blue when iron and titanium fuse. Pink when chromium takes the lead. Yellow, green, violet. A laboratory of color scripted by geology and time. Sapphire forms under intense metamorphic or igneous conditions, often 10 to 30 miles beneath the surface, where magma cools slowly or regional metamorphism pressures rock into transformation. It survives only when tectonics allow it to rise, in places like Kashmir, Madagascar, Montana, and Sri Lanka. Most faceted sapphires measure under 1 inch, but fine stones over 5 carats with intense saturation can command $2,000 to $10,000 per carat, depending on origin and treatment. Untreated Kashmir blues, priceless. Sapphire is a gemstone of precision under fire. Its color is not just decoration, but a record of its chemical and thermal history. Each one is a relic of heat behaving with impossible discipline, born in pressure, refined by elements, and proof that Earth makes color from silence when pressed just right. Ranked third, ruby, the flame that crystallized in marble. If Earth has a heartbeat, it pulses red, and deep within ancient mountain belts, where marble once flowed like softened wax, that heartbeat solidified as ruby. Unlike diamonds or sapphires, rubies are born in metamorphosed limestone, transformed into marble by tectonic pressure and volcanic heat. At temperatures reaching 1,300 degrees Fahrenheit, aluminum and chromium react in the perfect crucible. The result? A corundum crystal saturated with fire, red so pure that it borders on supernatural. The process is rare. There is too little chromium and the stone is pale. Too much iron and it dulls. The conditions must be exact, and they seldom are. That's why the most valuable ruby, from Myanmar's Mogok Valley or Mozambique's Montepuez Belt, are geological accidents of precision and pressure. Top-quality rubies over 2 carats with vivid pigeon blood, red can command $15,000 to $50,000 per carat, and those over 5 carats in the untreated form are auction house royalty. Most faceted stones fall under 0.8 inches, glowing like embers trapped in crystal. Ruby isn't just red. It's a scar left by Earth's inner heat, a gem forged where magma kissed limestone, where rock blushed under pressure. It is the crystallized memory of fire, and it beats even in silence like the oldest flame still burning. Ranked second, Spinel, the spy gem forged in Earth's hottest zones. For over 1,000 years, Spinel lived a double life. It sat in royal crowns, was enshrined in cathedrals, and was even worn into battle, all while carrying the wrong name. In the age before spectroscopy, it was called ruby if it was red and brilliant. No one questioned it. Not the kings, collectors, or wars fought to claim it. But Spinel is not ruby. It's tougher, cleaner, and born from even rarer fire. Spinel crystallizes in ultra-high temperature metamorphic zones, where rocks are baked at over 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit. Temperatures so extreme they only occur in the collision of continents or the roots of rising mountain belts. These conditions strip away impurities, allowing magnesium aluminum oxide to crystallize into perfect octahedrons, glowing red, pink, cobalt blue, or violet. Fine spinels from Myanmar, Vietnam, and Tanzania have stunned the market. Untreated eye-clean red spinels over 3 carats regularly command $3,000 to $8,000 per carat, with neon pink mahenge spinels reaching $10,000 plus. Cut stones usually range from 0.5 to 1 inch long, sharp, symmetrical, and bright without enhancement. But perhaps its most valuable trait was anonymity. Spinel rose to power not through fame, but by fooling the world. And when science finally pulled off its mask, it wasn't a scandal. It was a coronation. Because the gem that once impersonated royalty had become one in its own right. In first place, diamond, the sentence written in heat, served in silence. It begins with carbon, one of the most common elements on Earth, found in soot, in breath, in ash. But under the right conditions, even the most ordinary can become immortal. Buried nearly 100 miles beneath the surface, carbon is trapped in the upper mantle. Under more than 725,000 pounds of pressure per square inch and exposed to temperatures over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, it crystallizes, not chaotically, but with absolute precision. The result is diamond, the hardest known natural substance, forged not in light, but in silence. It doesn't form quickly, it doesn't form often, and it doesn't survive easily. Diamond only reaches the surface through a violent geological event called a kimberlite eruption. This 1 in a million burst rips through the crust, carrying these crystals upward faster than sound. Blink, and it's gone. Miss it, and it's lost forever. Most diamonds are too small to cut, but the ones that matter, the ones over 2 carats with D color clarity, no fluorescence, perfect angles, command $10,000 to $100,000 per carat and more at auction. Stones above 5 carats, clean and natural, are rare enough to alter the history of collections. Their surface area may be less than 0.5 inches, but what is their impact? Immeasurable. Diamond doesn't shimmer like moonstone. It doesn't play tricks like opal. It endures. Because it is not the product of beauty, it is the product of obedience to pressure, time, and stillness. Where other gems reflect the chaos they came from, diamond reflects only the will to survive it, not born in fire, but perfected by it. Not all gemstones are born in peace. Some are forged amid red-hot magma, the Earth's crust compressed by millions of years of tectonic movement. They sparkle not because they're random, but because they've experienced fire, pressure, and planetary survival. These are crystals that aren't created, they're forged. They emerge from the Earth at its most violent, when temperatures exceed 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and everything around them melts. Diamonds, rubies, peridots, zircons. Each proves that beauty can sometimes only be born from destruction. Let us know which resonates with you in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this.